On the evening of July 20th, 2019, in the quiet suburb of St. Clair, Sydney, a horrifying crime unfolded that would shock the nation. Jessica Camilleri, a 25-year-old woman with a history of mental health issues, brutally attacked her mother, Rita Camilleri, in their family home. The assault was so ferocious that it resulted in Rita's decapitation, leaving the community and the country grappling with the sheer brutality of the act. In this video, we will explore the tragic events leading up to that fateful night, exploring Jessica's background, her relationship with her mother, and the mental health challenges she faced. We'll examine the details of the crime, the subsequent legal proceedings, and the broader implications this case has on our understanding of mental health and the justice system. Join us as we navigate this harrowing story with sensitivity and a commitment to uncovering the truth. Background of Jessica Camilleri. Jessica Camilleri was born in 1994 and spent her early years in Sydney, Australia. From childhood, it was evident that Jessica faced significant developmental and behavioral challenges. Her parents noticed delays in her social and cognitive development, which led to consultations with specialists. Over time, she was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder and intermittent explosive disorder, conditions that profoundly affected her ability to regulate her emotions and control her impulses. These diagnoses brought clarity but also immense challenges, as Jessica's behavior became increasingly unpredictable and aggressive. Her mother, Rita Camilleri, took on the demanding role of primary caregiver, devoting herself entirely to managing Jessica's needs and creating a stable environment for her daughter. Despite Rita's tireless dedication, Jessica's behavioral issues grew more severe as she transitioned into adulthood. Minor frustrations often escalated into intense outbursts, characterized by yelling, threats, and occasional physical aggression. These episodes were not confined to the home. They extended to interactions with strangers, leading to legal issues and strained relationships within the community. Jessica's struggles with self-control and anger management became recurring patterns that disrupted not only her life, but also the lives of those around her. Rita, driven by maternal love and hope, sought professional interventions, but the improvements were limited and temporary. As Jessica aged, her dependency on her mother intensified. Rita juggled her own needs with the constant demands of caregiving, working tirelessly to shield Jessica from the consequences of her outbursts. The situation grew increasingly unmanageable, with Rita often acting as a buffer between Jessica and the world. While Jessica's conditions underscored the need for structured mental health support, the lack of adequate resources left Rita to shoulder the burden alone. This dynamic laid the groundwork for a strained and volatile relationship between mother and daughter, one that would tragically culminate in unimaginable violence. The day of the incident. On July 20th, 2019, an ordinary evening at the Camilleri household turned into an unimaginable nightmare. Tensions between Jessica and her mother, Rita, reached a breaking point over what began as a minor disagreement. Jessica's agitation quickly escalated into rage, fueling a violent outburst that would leave a chilling mark on Australian criminal history. Seizing multiple kitchen knives, Jessica launched an attack of extraordinary ferocity. She stabbed her mother repeatedly more than 100 times, not stopping when one knife broke or even when the second shattered. The majority of the wounds were focused on Rita's head and neck, culminating in a gruesome act of decapitation that stunned even seasoned investigators. What unfolded next was equally unsettling. Jessica, in a state of apparent disarray, walked out of the house with her mother's severed head and sought help from a nearby neighbor. Her behavior was disturbingly calm, as if detached from the horrors she had just committed. She repeatedly asked for assistance, describing the scene with a peculiar lack of urgency that left the neighbor horrified. Realizing the gravity of the situation, the neighbor immediately called emergency services. When police arrived at the scene, they were confronted with a sight that defied comprehension. Jessica, covered in blood, stood outside the house while inside lay evidence of the unthinkable violence that had unfolded. Her demeanor was eerily composed, a stark contrast to the chaos she had unleashed. The brutal nature of the attack, combined with the peculiar calm she exhibited, would soon become central to the case, raising profound questions about her mental state and her capacity to grasp the enormity of her actions. Legal proceedings following her arrest, Jessica Camilleri was charged with the murder of her mother. During the trial, her defense team argued that her actions were a direct result of her mental health conditions, asserting that she lacked the capacity to control her impulses or understand the gravity of her actions. They presented evidence of her long-standing mental health issues, including previous diagnoses and documented incidents of aggressive behavior. The prosecution acknowledged Jessica's mental health challenges, but contended that she was aware of her actions and their consequences. They highlighted the brutality of the crime and the fact that Jessica had made threatening statements in the past, indicating a potential for such violence. After considering the evidence, the jury found Jessica guilty of manslaughter due to diminished responsibility, leading to a sentence of 21 years in prison with a non-parole period of 16 years. Implications and reflections. The tragic case of Rita and Jessica Camilleri underscores the complexities surrounding mental health and the criminal justice system. It raises critical questions about the adequacy of mental health support services, the responsibilities of caregivers, and the measures in place to prevent such tragedies. Rita's unwavering dedication to her daughter highlights the challenges faced by families dealing with severe mental health issues, often with limited external support. This case also prompts a broader discussion on how society addresses mental health, the stigmatization of individuals with mental disorders, and the resources allocated for their care and integration. It serves as a somber reminder of the potential consequences when mental health needs are not adequately met, and the importance of early intervention, continuous support, and comprehensive care for those affected. Conclusion. The tragic death of Rita Camilleri at the hands of her daughter Jessica is a heartbreaking reminder of the severe consequences that can arise when mental health issues are left untreated. Jessica's struggles with autism spectrum disorder and intermittent explosive disorder, coupled with the lack of adequate support and resources, led to a devastating outcome that no one could have predicted. This case underscores the need for a more comprehensive and compassionate approach to mental health care, one that not only focuses on the individual, but also provides the necessary support for families who are struggling to cope with these challenges. This tragedy also calls for a deeper reflection on the state of mental health services and the importance of early intervention. Families like Rita's often find themselves shouldering an immense burden with little help from the system. As we look back on this devastating event, it's crucial to recognize the gaps in mental health care and work toward creating a more supportive environment for those in need. It's time to advocate for changes that can prevent similar tragedies in the future, ensuring that individuals with mental health conditions receive the treatment and care they deserve. How do you think society can improve mental health services to prevent such cases? What role do you think caregivers should play in raising awareness about mental health struggles? If you found this story impactful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life crime stories and in-depth analyses. Stay tuned for more.